Well, it was another explosive UAAP game day, and the men's basketball tournament continues to heat up. Joining us tonight to talk about the biggest gains from yesterday is UAAP basketball analyst Coach Olsen Racela. Coach Olsen, thank you very much for joining us here today. I noticed the glasses kasi malayo yung papel mo. But let us now focus first on the games that happened yesterday, in particular that FEU against Adamson game. Because we were talking a bit before we went on air na ang sakit nito para sa Adamson because of, one, where they are in the standings, and of course, losing to an FEU team that has played well, but not necessarily the winning basketball that their crowd, their community expected.
Yeah, teams like Adamson and FEU, who are expected to be at the middle or bottom part of the standings, need every win that they can get. Of course, and I'm talking about those wins against those teams at the bottom of the standing. So that loss yesterday was a big blow to the cause of Adamson, who, of course, would want to get to that Final Four.
Coach Olsen, itong FEU, they were able to avoid what happened last season, right? 0-5 to start season 85. But then this time around, back-to-back wins. What were the adjustments that do you think they did in the past two games that gave them these wins for the Tamaraws?
Well, actually, even if they started 0-4, I felt that they were playing really well. So it was just a matter of time for them to get that first win. When they played against UP, it went to overtime. They went toe-to-toe against NU. There's only one loss, I think, that they should have won. It was against UE. UE came back to win that game. But generally, they really were playing really well, even if they were 0-4.
We have to talk about some of the individuals here for FEU in particular. Itong si Joric Bautista and LJ Gonzalez. LJ actually is one of the leaders in terms of statistical category, number 3 right now sa Liga. Just how important has his play been? Itong si LJ and of course si Joric, one of the better shooters sa Liga natin.
Well, LJ, let's start with LJ first. LJ Gonzalez really is the initiator of their offense. Everything starts with LJ Gonzalez. And he is, for a guard, he actually averages a lot big in rebounds.
Yeah.
Right? So, and he is also their closer. So he initiates their offense, but in the end game, they look for LJ to produce points for them.
Actually, LJ is number 7 in the total rebounding of the UAAP this season.
Definitely the man to watch out for the FEU Tamaraws. Lipat tayo sa Adamson Soaring Falcons. A couple of guys also stepped up. Unfortunately, just lost by 3 points. Let's talk about Joshua Yero. And this guy, Cedric Manzano, has been really stepping up to the plate for Coach Nash Racela.
A lot of players have been playing well for them the past games. You have Montebon, played well, Erolon, okay, and then you mentioned Yero also. But I think the guy who's been really consistent for them is Cedric Manzano. He is their main post threat. And of course, without Los Temosa, they're really searching for that guy who can provide that scoring. So far, it has been Cedric Manzano.
Ced Manzano, right now in terms of percentages and 2-pointers, number 8 siya sa UAP ngayon. But you take a look at the lack of individual, I guess, scoring punch here from Adamson. How difficult is it to find that type of player middle of the season? Kasi right now, parang wala eh. Wala so far in terms of like who could take over for this Adamson team.
That's one of the reasons why they're struggling, why they are 3-3. Because they're really looking for that role that Las Temosa plays for them. But right now, they still play their ball screen offense, but they go to Manzano a lot to settle down things for them. Their foreign student athlete is not like
Like a Malik Juf.
not like Duanga from last season. He's just a role player. So having Cedric Manzano as their main post threat is a big deal for Adamson.
There's a game I don't want to talk about, Dip. Kaya ikaw na lang magsimula dito.
I know, it's still a bit painful, Pao. Pero
A bit?
yung next na pag-uusapan natin is UP versus La Salle. You covered that game, Coach Olsen, with Boom, of course. 3-point win for the UP Fighting Maroons. And I want to talk about that third quarter. Again, Pao, pasintabi lang. Third quarter, La Salle only scored 3 points. What happened in that third quarter, Coach Olsen?
Well, at the half, of course, in the first half, La Salle really played really well.
Yeah.
They were up by, I think, 9 at the half. But a good adjustment by Coach Goldwyn at the half, making it more uncomfortable or really uncomfortable for LaSalle in the second half, which is why they had that big run, a 21-0 run for UP. But more than that, people look at, when you look at runs like 21-0, people tend to look at that big 21. But as a coach, I look at that zero.
Yeah.
And it showed really how great a defensive team UP is. They really made LaSalle bleed for their points. They only scored 3 points in that third quarter.
And they lost by 3. And also a reminder, Coach, that as LaSallians are also looking at that 0. But you take a look at the fact that this UP team, when they adjusted, when they changed things around, some of the people, you go online, you talk to anyone who's been associated with the UAP, they look at what LaSalle did in the second half, and some of the combinations of players there, probably not the ideal situation for them. What did you not see from LaSalle in that second half?
Well, I did not see Evanelli play. Yun ang malaking bagay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very crucial. Evanelli plays 31 minutes. He averages 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. So big deal. And he's the leader of the team. So when a team makes a run, opponent makes a run, he comes down the team for De La Salle. And sometimes he creates things for them. But he was not there in the whole game.
And just to emphasize that, Coach, itong si Evanelli, number 4 in terms of minutes played this season out of all the teams. So not having him there really put LaSalle in a very weird situation.
Ngayon ko na napansin, kaya ka pala nag-blue today, Pao. Kasi
I'm not, look, I did not wear my green coat today kasi talo eh. Yan lang eh.
pahinga muna yung color natin. Alright, let's talk about the UP Fighting Maroons. Hopefully, Evanelli can play in the second round matchup. But what about the UP Fighting Maroons, Coach Olsen? Still undefeated in the tournament so far. Do you see them, well, may isa pang laban this coming Sunday against Ateneo. Do you think it's possible for them to sweep this season with the way they're playing right now?
I mean, it's very possible, Dip, with the way they've been playing. Sabi nga kahapon dun sa report for UP, they're not really worried about teams. They're really worried about how they will play in every game that they will play. So it's very possible they can sweep. I'm sure Coach Goldwyn's not thinking about that. They're taking it one game at a time. But they're really a strong team this year.
Right here towards the tail end of the first round, we already have 3 teams already tied at 3-3. It's LaSalle, Adamson, and Ateneo. You take a look at that log jam and the difference rather that would, as we take a look at the standings there, what it would take to not be the bottom of that 3 between LaSalle, Adamson, and Ateneo. Just how fine are the margins here, Coach, between these 3 teams in the race for that Final Four as early as now?
It's very close. I mean, with 1 game left, Ateneo has a disadvantage because they haven't played UP yet. So that could be 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But in the UAP, every game counts. What I always tell the teams, you treat it from the first game, treat it like the playoffs. There should be no letdown because every game is important, and sometimes one game or one loss could be the factor in for the season. So,
final weekend for round number 1 this coming weekend for the UAAP season 86. Your expectations, Coach Olsen, having covered multiple games so far, the first 6 of each team, any expectations natin coming this weekend for the rest of the teams?
Well, for this weekend, since it's going to be the last game of the elimination, it's all about positioning. For those teams in the middle, you would want to end the first round somewhere there at the top 4, of course. And those teams at the bottom, you would want to end the first round with a win so that you have momentum going to the second round. So for me, the weekend's all about positioning. Of course, you expect all of the teams to go for that win this weekend.
Right.
All right, Coach, we're not going to be done with you yet because we're now going to talk about the individuals when we return here. Enough about the standings muna. Medyo nasaktan ako when I saw the 3-3 yung LaSalle.